This is Mommying While Muslim, recorded live and unedited. Watch as Zeba and Uzma record their podcast, see their reactions, and find out for yourself what all the buzz is about.
Our trusted partner, Guidance Residential, the #1 U.S. Islamic home financing provider, is offering an exciting Ramadan special. This Ramadan, take advantage of their home purchase savings program by following 3 easy steps. Learn how to do that when you experience the guidance difference, and learn more at gr.link/Ramadan-FB-MWM-MAR23.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Momming While Muslim. My name is Zeba Hassan, and I have a guest co-host today. And I'm going to introduce her quite thoroughly in a minute because my beautiful co-host is actually at Umrah right now. So she was able to get a last minute spot in a group, and she just decided to take them up on it. And I pray for her, and hopefully she's praying for us right before Ramadan. I know she really wanted to have more of the spiritual connection going into the month of Ramadan. So I am so grateful that she was able to find that opportunity. We are continuing with our favorite things, and obviously featuring Muslim entrepreneurs. And this next guest is going to be my co-host for today. Her name is Instisar Bashir. She was born in Columbus, Ohio, from the Midwest like I am. She comes from a family of entrepreneurs and has always kind of desired to follow in their footsteps, namely her father. So I'm going to be very excited to talk to her about that. You might recognize her as part of the co-founder of Browndages. I mean, amazing, amazing product. They were on Shark Tank, where there was 3 sharks that were trying to vie for their product and to be a partnership with them. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about that. So Browndages is essentially the brainchild of Instisar and her husband, Rashid. And once they realized that bandages were supposed to kind of be flesh toned, totally 100% true. Notice that none of the bandages that were purchased in stores matched the skin of anybody in their family. They decided to launch Browndages. On top of bandages, Browndages also now started creating pajama sets with the same characters, several children's books. And Bashir said that their representation was transformative for their children and other children like them. And on top of this, everybody, they're Muslim entrepreneurs, and we are so excited and so blessed to have my co-host here today, Instisar. Thank you so much for coming, and welcome to Momming While Muslim.
Thank you so much for having me, Zeba. And like you said, I pray that your sister is having a wonderful and healing and spiritual time right now. And I pray that she keeps us all in her du'as. And it's a wonderful opportunity leading into Ramadan, like you said, to be able to experience Umrah. So inshallah, all her du'as are accepted and she's having a wonderful time.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. So, I kind of threw you in and said, guess what? You're going to be my co-host today. So, I wanted to start by asking you, before we get into your amazing products, which, they need to be in more stores, by the way, because I went last night to try to look for them in the stores and I was like, oh, I can't find them. So we're going to have to work on that. But that having been said, you're also a mama of 4. Why don't you start the podcast today telling us a little bit about your mommying philosophy and how your entrepreneurial spirit actually translates to your mommying?
Well, I am a very much so take it one day at a time kind of mom.
You kind of have to be, right?
You have to. You just take the punches as they're swung your way. So I know we have like a loose, schedule that we kind of follow, but also it's like whatever happens, we just try to roll with it and try to get done as much as we can in each day. Make sure everyone's teeth are brushed, make sure everyone's homework is done, and that we're out of the door at the right time so that they can catch the bus. So it's just one day at a time, and
I love that.
I pick up the slack that my husband may not be able to do that day, or then the next day he picks it up for me. So we just kind of we're taking it day by day.
I love that. And it sounds like it's a partnership within your family unit, as well as now in the corporate world, in this entrepreneurial world. So, Browndages is literally, if you haven't seen it, it's at Browndages, BROWNDAGES. Go on Instagram. It's genius. It's essentially a wide variety of because we're not all one toned. Like even within my own family, and I have to like back out because I wore this shirt for you today and I thought you would appreciate it. It's my melanin shirt that says we essentially come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. And even within the Islamic world, the Muslim world, a lot of people don't realize that. So the fact that you guys saw a desperate need in the marketplace and created this product, what was one of the key factors? Could you tell us a story where you just sat there and you're like, you know what, this is what needs to be done, and what do we do from there?
Yeah, so like you hinted to, like I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so like I promise you, wherever I go, I'm like
you're looking at from that lens, right?
Like, oh, how can I, what product can I come with to fix this, or what solution that I don't know. So that's just literally how my brains work. So it was, I don't know, probably about 5 or 6 years ago at this point in time. It like all my life, I didn't know bandages were supposed to be flesh tone. It was just something
that's so true.
I literally didn't know. And once I gained that knowledge, I was just like, but like the ones that we're buying for our family, it doesn't match any of mine or my children's flesh tone or my husband's at that. And so we were just like, why not create that? You know what I mean? Like, again, how my brain works. And so with no experience in bringing any kind of product to market, we were like, yeah, okay. And so my husband, he's a children's book author. He's written the books that are on our website. And so he has a way with words. So he came up with the brand name. And so I was like, gold, you know what I mean? And so from there, we have a really good family friend, like one of my father's really good friends. He's actually one of his Hajis, like they made Hajj together back in like the 90s or something like that. He is one of the co-founders of True Laundry Detergent, which is a Muslim-owned, veteran-owned laundry detergent, And so I reached out to him because I'm like, he brought a product to market. He, of course, will be able to assist me in this. And so, alhamdulillah, he was very instrumental in helping my husband and I bring our product to market. Without him, like we wouldn't even have known how to get in contact with a manufacturer. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure eventually we probably could have Googled it, but it was a lot easier to go to him. And he's like, okay, let me do some research. I'll find someone for you. And he was able to, alhamdulillah, put us in contact with a manufacturer. So alhamdulillah, we are blessed in that way that we had, that kind of straightforward kind of connection to getting to the people that we needed. But it was just like, I don't know. It's just literally, I've noticed this more and more about myself, how my brain works. If I'm going out somewhere, like the last vacation that we went to, alhamdulillah, we went to Aruba.
Ooh, and that sounds good. I'm jealous.
Beautiful, beautiful island. But it's like, until I got there, I didn't know that it's literally like a desert. You know what I mean? Like, alhamdulillah, the weather is amazing. It's 80 degrees, 365 days a year. It doesn't rain. And so I'm like, it doesn't rain. And then the locals are saying, oh, they have to import the vast majority of things. Like, they don't even produce enough to feed their own people.
Isn't that crazy?
And I'm like, there has to be a way around this, guys. Like, and so like the whole time I'm like, well, infrastructure and irrigation, and I'm just trying to figure it out.
So amazing.
If you have that beautiful weather year round, the sunshine, I'm just like, then you have to use that to your advantage. Like, you should be growing something. And so I'm like, okay, there's ways around rain. Like you can water things. And so, anyway, long way to say that's just literally no matter where I am.
That's how your brain starts working.
Like, that's how my brain starts working. And so that's kind of how it was with the bandages. It was just like, once I gained that knowledge, like I have to do something with it. And alhamdulillah, this was one of the instances that we actually like saw it through from, you know, start to finish and actually brought a product to market. And alhamdulillah, it's been very well received.
Yes.
And we're just feeling like truly blessed to be able to, you know, experience this entrepreneurial journey together. So
That's so great. And you guys aren't sick of each other yet? I have to ask that.
not this week.
Okay,
not this
see?
week. This week we're
Day
doing
by
good.
day, week by week. I mean, because that is one of the things, right? When you work with your spouse, you're like, I love him, but like, how much do I want to be with him? So it can be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll leave that for another podcast. Now, obviously, you know, you guys kind of catapulted into the mainstream industry when you guys were on Shark Tank. So Uzma and I have had the pleasure of meeting one of those sharks, and we talked about that before. How was that experience, and how has that been for you all after the Shark Tank, as they like to say?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, it was a very interesting and long process.
Yes.
Like from, you know, the start of the application when they reached out to us to like actually airing. It was about a year.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit more, because my son, he'll be 2 in like on the 26th of this month, and I was pregnant when we started.
Oh wow.
The application and the pitch video and all that kind of stuff. Like I was like, I really didn't want to do the video because like I was late in my pregnancy.
Yeah, so you're like, I'm swollen, I'm pregnant, I don't look cute. Come on now.
Air nationally, I was just, but then I was like, okay, no, that's not the point. Let's just concentrate.
Exactly.
So alhamdulillah, we started that process when it was probably January, February, when I was pregnant with him. And we did all the application. We went through all of the rounds. And then we had to like work with producers. Mm-hmm. And then I want to say June 2022. I'm so confused. COVID has really messed up my mind.
Oh, trust me. I'm like, what year? So is it really 2023? What the heck? How did that happen?
Okay, so he was like 3 months when we went to go film. So he was born in March, April, May, June 21.
Okay.
We filmed. But it didn't air until April 22.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So that's quite a while.
Yeah, like, so it's a long, drawn-out process, and you don't even know, like, even if you make it to the point where you film, you don't know that you'll air.
Yes.
Like, you won't know that you air until, like, I think 2 weeks before they decide to air your segment. So it's like...
You kind of do it and then forget about it, right? Like, that's probably what you're like, oh, I forgot I did this.
You sign NDAs and you can't tell anybody what happened or anything like that. So you literally kind of have to forget about it because you're like, there's no guarantee that we're going to actually air it. So me telling anybody and then you don't air and then they're just like, are you sure you really went on Shark Tank? So,
exactly.
We did air and it was a good experience, alhamdulillah. Like even to this day, it's almost a year later. Next month it'll be a year that we aired. And like we still get emails from people all over the world, literally. Like from Australia to Pakistan to Kenya, like all over the world we'll get, and I didn't even know the show had that far of a reach, to be completely honest.
It's definitely something I love to watch right before I go to sleep. Like it's my background show, and when somebody comes on that I like, I'm like, I put down my book and I sit up. Exactly.
Like, order this right quick. And then you're like, a week later, you're like, oh, I did do that.
Yeah, like how many things did I buy? Oh my gosh. No, that's amazing. And obviously, you know, it goes without saying that you guys were instrumental in providing like you said, to be seen within the community. Like once you realize that bandages needed to be flesh tone, you're like, wait a second, it really doesn't account for all the flesh tones. And I know even within our cultures, we are literally a variety of skin tones. So having that representation and being able to put it on where it becomes invisible is kind of your your tagline, which is kind of like heal in silence. Now, how did you come up with it? First of all, when I heard that, I literally got goosebumps. So whoever came up with that, marketing genius, because it truly is. You're not supposed, some kids want their boo-boos to be shown, obviously, but as you get older, you really do want to just heal in silence without people, drawing attention to that. So where did you come up for that? And how do you feel about the impact that you're having within the people of color community in providing representation and something that other people have taken for granted for decades and decades?
Yeah. Well, shout out to my husband again. I told you he has a way with words.
Oh,
He's
it's
an author. So he
beautiful.
came up with that
Yeah, I
tagline, and we're
love it.
like, oh, wow. Like,
Yes, it's
he just
beautiful.
comes up with these things. So alhamdulillah for that. That is one of his many talents.
Yes.
He just has a way with words. So he came up with that tagline, and we instantly, when we started using it, it really resonated with people a lot. And so alhamdulillah, the feedback that we've gotten from just people worldwide is like something simple as a bandage.
Yes.
Providing that, that representation of allowing people to heal in silence is just, it's valuable. You know what I mean? It's just very valuable to people, and they didn't realize it, again, just like we did, that it was something that they wanted or needed, really. You know what I mean? So.
Exactly. Again, you found a niche in the marketplace. So for people that don't know, of course, we're giving away a whole bunch of our favorite things. So the code word is heal in silence. So when this airs, make sure you get us in our DMs or our emails, whichever one comes first. That's the person that's going to be mailed this product. Why don't you tell them, Instisar, what that product is?
Okay, we will be sending the winner one of our first aid kits. Everybody raves about it. It's really good to keep in your car. It literally has any and everything that you can think of that you would possibly need in there, as well as a box of our assorted box of our bandages, our Browndages, and then a shirt. We have merchandise, with some of them have taglines on them. One of them will say heal in silence.
I love that.
So we will send them one of our heal in silence t-shirts as well.
That's great. And again, that code word is heal in silence. And honestly, this was a great way, one, to support local Muslim owned American businesses, right? So there's so many amazing products. There's books in there that I started reading. Like, I already have a list of all the things that I'm going to be purchasing for Eid, for all of that. And honestly, if you're sports parents like myself, I have a first aid kit in every single bag. Like, you never know when you're going to need it. And these are the best products to do that. Again, I'm trying to look for it more in person because we're going to try to get that, but you can go to their website and do that. So, we're going to segue a little bit into, you have this entrepreneurial mind, and there's so many people, right, that are like, I want to take my life into my own hands. I want to become an entrepreneur. I call myself a serial mompreneur. Again, you're finding a niche in the marketplace. How can I solve this? What is one of the things that you would suggest to somebody kind of new, they kind of have a little bit of an idea as to what they can do to kind of promote and get motivated to continue on that entrepreneurial journey? Because it can be a long, lonely road. And what are some things for somebody who already has been there, done that, that you can say, you know what, start with this and then move forward?
I would say, if it's an idea, a product, whatever your entrepreneurial dream is, if it's something that you are passionate with, you will connect and find with your community. Like, it doesn't have to be your mom, your dad, your sister, your cousin, or your neighbor. Like, the internet has changed the world. Like, you will find
good and bad, right?
Yes, but let's focus on the good.
We're going to focus on the good today.
Yeah, you'll find your niche community and the people who will support you. And again, it's not always going to be someone close to you, but don't take that as a negative. You know what I mean? Like, just stick with the people who are sticking with you and move forward. Like, move forward in whatever intentions you have for your company, for your product, for your non-profit You know what I mean? So just stay with it. And even if there are similar things out there, like no one is going to do it like you. So
Exactly.
just stick with it and be yourself and move forward in whatever it is that you want to move forward with.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's like being consistent, being authentic and true to yourself, and not letting other people put you down, right? Like those are kind of the main things of keeping entrepreneurship like motivated and going. And as a mother of four amazing children, what are some of the lessons that you've learned that you can apply to mothering that you've learned from being an entrepreneur?
I would say, I don't know if it's lessons that I've learned from entrepreneurship, but know that they're always watching you.
Yes.
And this goes back to me and my desire for entrepreneurship and seeing my father do that like our entire life. Like that's how he provided for us.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And successfully, alhamdulillah, provided for us. And there's other members of my family. Like I have, like, on both sides of my family, like it's just a plethora of entrepreneurs. And so it's like that representation of seeing my family members do that allowed me to even dare to dream it for myself. So I'm just so excited for what's to come for my children, from them seeing me and their father do this. And so I'm just like, the possibilities are just limitless. You know what I mean? You know, at one point in time, you just thought you had to go into like be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a teacher, or something like those limitations are not there anymore. So I hope and pray that by them seeing us do this, it allows them to dream to do whatever it is. Like they don't have to take this business over. You know what I mean? Like it allows them the audacity to dream to be whatever it is that they want to be, whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? At one point in time, one of my daughters wanted to be a marine biologist. I can barely swim.
Exactly. You're like, if you can do that.
She's a fish. Like literally she is a fish. And so I was just like, I started Googling and looking up what schools have marine biology. Like, that was never anything on my radar.
Right.
But if this is something that you like to do and you're passionate about, like I'm there for it. I'm supporting it. And I can only hope and pray that hers, you know, seeing us do and follow our dreams on a day-to-day basis is giving her the like desire to dream and then the audacity to move forward with it in whatever path, you know, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides her upon. So yeah.
Ameen, inshallah, and ameen for all of our kids, right? Like that's really ultimately the blessing. And as you know, second, third, fourth generation American Muslims, right? Like when our initial parents came, like they were surviving, and then now we were, you know, we all had to. I'm probably a lot older than you, had to do like, okay, we have to do these, you know, jobs to be able to thrive, and then our kids really can literally strive for survive, to thrive, to survive, to strive, you know, like that is the beauty and that we're doing, and to be in places, you know, where our parents or our grandparents had no business being. Like the fact that they're going to take it over, I am so excited by what this next generation is going to be doing. To be honest with you, it's such a blessing. And you know, obviously we can learn so much from your journey, from your, you know, finding a niche in the marketplace, taking it over, like being super successful, and providing us a little bit of your valuable time, because I know right before Ramadan all of us are like trying to get our things done. What are some of the things that your family does to get ready for Ramadan? Maybe we can get some ideas from you.
I'm just slowly trying to wean my children off of their desire to always be on a device.
Yes,
because
electronics.
Right. Like that's the thing in our house. Like everybody knows during Ramadan it's like
we're done.
Zero.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like so we're trying to transition to them to, like, as we're in Ohio, so you know right now it's rainy.
It's
gloomy.
not fun weather.
Like 3 days ago it was 70 degrees.
Exactly.
So we're trying to transition them more to outside play.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that they won't feel the tug to want to get on the watch television or get on the tablet or something like that. So we're transitioning them to outside play. I'm trying to remind them, like, at one point in time, my daughters had taken sewing classes.
Oh,
so I'm like, I'm trying to plant seeds, like, hey, you guys, what are you going to wear for Eid?
Yes.
Even if we don't ultimately end up wearing what they sew.
But what an amazing project.
Activity that they can work on throughout the month to just take up time instead of that they would normally maybe on a device or watching television or something like that. So I'm just trying to, you know, plant little seeds, finding ideas on like Instagram and Pinterest and stuff like that. I'm sending them back and forth with my sister. I saw how you can like essentially like silk screen a shirt. All you needed was like paper and some. I was like, oh, saving this. Like,
yeah, you're like, let's do this, because this is going to be the announcement of like amazing T-shirt wears that are going to be coming on to Browndages from like made by their kids, and then we'll be ready for it.
Yeah, so those are just kind of some of the things that we are trying to like transition them away from and get them more excited about. Two of my children, they love to read. And so we're trying to like find more like Islamic based books for them to read during the month. So I ordered a Sira book for like it's geared towards children so that they can read. So, you know, and then it puts it more in like a story, you know, way. So it's more digestible for children.
Yes.
And so I'm like, inshallah, that, you know, that way they're learning more about the Prophet. So I'm just like, just little things like that, but capitalizing on the things that they already like.
Yes.
Like they like to read, they like to do arts and crafts, they like to play outside. So I'm just trying to transition them to more like, I don't know, okay activities to do throughout the month.
I absolutely love that. And, you know, transitioning kids early, as we know, is definitely the way to go, because if you pull everything away in the last minute, then they start to dislike things and they start to have a negative, where if it seems like you're doing the perfect thing, you're reframing it as to another amazing activity that maybe they don't have time for, that they're going to start doing. I absolutely love that. We have a lot of gems in this podcast for people that are listening. Again, the giveaway is a first aid kit, a box of Browndages, their assortment, and a shirt. Maybe it'll say Heal in Silence, because I know I personally like it. Make sure you go to @Browndages on Instagram to go look at some of their other products, including some amazing children's books, and their characters are so cute and on point. So I absolutely love it. Great for gifts, great to have in your bag. We absolutely love and adore your products, and we are so grateful for you guys coming on the show today. And we ended up, we always end up our podcast in this rapid fire segment where essentially I'm going to throw questions at you and you kind of have to answer. And the first thing that comes to your mind, and the first question we always ask is, what, if any, book are you currently reading or you would recommend us to read?
Well, the last book that I just finished reading like last week, and don't judge me, it's like a
no, sometimes we need the mind candy, I call it.
What is it called? Young adult book or something
like
that?
Yes, I love those.
It's based off of the character in Black Panther.
Oh, yes.
Like the leader. So it's like kind of like a side story for her. Like she took a mission and she came to New York City and she was learning about gentrification and stuff.
I love that.
Just really interesting. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure if you look it up,
I'm going to look it up.
It's
a great, I love those side stories because you really fall in love with the characters and you're like, I want to know what they do when the book ends. So I absolutely love that. So if you, obviously with Ramadan coming up, what is one staple food that your kids would associate to Ramadan cooking that their mom makes for them?
Oh, that I make? I don't know. I know their top is sambusas or like samosas.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I make them.
But you're like, I bring them.
Right. Like I'll eat them from
yes, exactly.
You know. But I usually do try to make them at least once during Ramadan because they really, really like them. But it's just so time consuming.
They're so time consuming.
I have my husband's friend, like his wife she's like a master at it. And
So
so
you're
like
like, why
she'll
not?
make this big old tray for us, and like we freeze them, and then
Oh,
we just
love
eat
that.
them throughout the month. So I'm
Oh,
like,
girl,
I'm
I
gonna
do the
look at her.
same thing. I can make them. It's time consuming and they don't know the difference of when I make it and when somebody else does. So it saves me time 100%. If you were to be, if you were to be on an island, like you're stranded on the island, what are 3 things that you feel like you couldn't live without other than your family and your religion and all the normal things?
Like frivolous things. One,
Yes.
chapstick,
Yes.
because who wants to be on a sunny island?
Yes, without moisturizer.
So, chapstick, a water bottle, and what is my current like favorite snack? Like some pistachios.
Oh,
And then I'm
yeah.
set.
You're like, I'm set. I'm good to go. So this is the last one. If what is the most used emoji that you've been using right now when you're texting people?
So I've tried to use all of the it's usually like the brown heart, because
Yes.
I really try to stay on brown.
Yes, that's
On
branding.
brown, we can say that. So whenever I send the, like, my sister sends me a picture of like my niece or something like that, instead of using the normal red heart, I use the
Yes.
brown heart. So
I
that's
love that. I absolutely love that. No, so thank you so much, Intisar, for joining us today. Again, we wish your Ramadan to be as spiritual and enlightened as it can possibly be. We're very excited about your products, Browndages. So please make sure you use Heal in Silence, DM or email us at salam, SALAM, at mommingwhilemuslim.com. And the first person that wins will have the package just shipped to them directly from Browndage's headquarters. And again, we thank you so much for joining us here today and wish you all the luck in everything and love to support you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Our trusted partner, Guidance Residential, the #1 U.S. Islamic home financing provider, is offering an exciting Ramadan special. This Ramadan, take advantage of their home purchase savings program by following 3 easy steps. Learn how to do that when you experience the guidance difference, and learn more at gr.link/Ramadan-FB-MWM-MAR23.